The Eskom wage negotiations are now headed for arbitration at the CCMA following yet another deadlock. 2 weeks ago, Eskom management took everyone by surprise when it abruptly pulled the plug on wage talks with unions, and in an unprecedented move, management declared a dispute with the unions at the CCMA, triggering a mediation process that was supposed to last for a maximum of 30 days. Newzroom Energy Sector Coordinator Kangela Baloi joins us to talk more on this story. Good evening and thank you so much for your time tonight. Certainly does appear from your statement yesterday as the NUM that you're digging in your heels with this 15%.
Yes, we still believe that this 15% is a reasonable demand and is affordable, given the reasons that we already gave to Eskom. And we can share those reasons with you as well.
And it doesn't look, though, that Eskom is budging.
No, it does not look like they are budging, but we still believe that the process of the CCMA will assist us to achieve these demands that we're looking for.
How does that process... Pardon me, you can continue. You can continue.
Yes, we met on the 10th of June 2021. It was NUM, NUMSA, Solidarity, and we met with Eskom, and the meeting was facilitated by the commissioner. That meeting is called conciliation and mediation. That meeting did not assist because Eskom still said they don't have the demands that we are looking for. They are still offering 1.5% with the conditions that they are actually giving to us.
You are far apart. 15% and 1.5% certainly is far apart. And how are you then hoping that in this process with the CCMA you'll be able to find each other?
Yeah, you know, the reason we are far apart is because the employer does not want to move, you know. We have moved several times and with conditions, of course, to say that if the employer does not move, we have to go back to our original 15%, like we are in our original 15% now. Now, the process of arbitration is going to assist. We're going to state our case, you know, we're going to put evidence to the commissioner to prove that workers of Eskom have worked very hard, that they deserve the 15% that they are demanding. You will remember that for the previous 3 years, workers of Eskom did not get their performance bonuses. You know, and this is because most of the monies, because you see, there is a misunderstanding on what's happening in Eskom. What's happening in Eskom is making money. Eskom is making a revenue of 200 billion per annum. Where lies the problem? The problem lies on how that 200 billion is utilized. You see, because we believe as unions that management of Eskom is misusing that money through corruption and through inflating of prices. You know, now recently they've increased the price of primary energy, especially coal, by 17%. You know, and if they can increase the price of coal for the coal producers by 17%, surely they can be able to increase the salaries of workers who are actually making this money.
So what you're saying then is that Eskom can afford this, the fact that the power utility has got this debt that it needs to clear, it needs to get its house in order, and while they try to do that, I mean, they've been in the red at some point. So you're saying that there is no truth to suggestions that the employer simply cannot afford this increase you're asking for?
Yeah, no, they can afford. It's not a lot we're asking for. We're asking for 2.8 billion out of the 200 billion that we are making per annum. Because you see, the Eskom wage bill, the total wage bill for the bargaining unit is around 10 billion. So when you add the 15%, you go around, you only increase it by 2.8 billion, which is 1.4% of the total wage bill. So it's it's not a lot we are asking. You know, there are problems of Eskom. Even if today you can retrench all workers of Eskom, or you say, I'm no longer paying workers of Eskom, those big problems of Eskom are still going to be there. Because we know that Eskom has got big problems, but we can't say workers must starve because Eskom has got big problems. If they can be, because they can be able to increase that money, and we have told them where to get the money. We even suggested that we can assist Eskom in trying to get some of the monies that are owned to Eskom by municipalities and other big companies. You know, and even some of the monies that is stolen, Eskom can be able to get that money back. It's a lot of money we're talking about, you know, because we're talking about 36 billion in that is being owned to Eskom by municipalities. So if you can get that 36 billion, even if you can get the 6 billion from that money, you can be able to pay the 2.8 billion to the workers.
I have to ask you this as you talk about the workers and you say that they're working very hard. There are then some questions then that are saying if Eskom is battling to keep the lights on, why should South Africans then part with their hard-earned money to give Eskom workers an increase when we still have load shedding?
See, the issue of load shedding is a little bit complex. You know, it's not an issue where you can blame it on the workers of Eskom. Actually, in reality, when there's load shedding, workers in Eskom, they work very hard. They work 24 hours, you know, 24/7 actually, to try to bring the units back. You know, we work more when there's load shedding than when there's not load shedding. But the reality of the situation is we need proper maintenance of Eskom plants, you know, and we need a proper maintenance plan, you know, and that's the duty of management, of the management team to do that. You know, you can't blame that on ordinary workers. You know, we can't do that. You know, so that's why we still believe that ordinary workers deserves this 15% that we are demanding.
So if you're so far apart with management and then you don't find each other, are you prepared to hit the streets to get your 15%?
Yeah, no, the unfortunate part is that Eskom is classified as essential service workers, you know. So by law, Eskom workers are not allowed to go on strike, you know. And we are encouraging our members to continue picketing and doing all legal things that can assist the negotiating team. We are discouraging illegal activities in all costs. We are discouraging that. We don't want our members to engage in illegal activities.
So how
that
then
would include going on an illegal strike.
How then will you force the hand of management if things don't get to a point where they actually do agree with you to then move an inch? Because certainly we all understand that these are essential services workers, and you say you're making a case for them here to say that they should be getting this particular increase, but it sounds to me like you are caught between a rock and a hard place. There's nothing you can do if management says to you it's not moving an inch again at the CCMA.
No, remember, when you are in social service, you know, the CCMA, together with government, they've got a duty to actually dissolve the dispute in Eskom, you know, and amicably so, you know, because you see, as much as we say we are discouraging our members from going on strike, you know, you'd never know with disgruntled workers what they can do. But we discourage them to do that, you know. We still believe that we can talk to the commissioner and Eskom to give workers a decent salary, a decent increase for this financial year.
There are some arguments then in some sectors that, you know, workers that are working for state-owned enterprises should not be asking for salary increases because they did not take a salary cut or have their salaries impacted during COVID-19. What do you then say to that?
You see, we need to compare apples with apples. You know, we can't compare SOE like Eskom with SABC or others. Eskom is a big company that is making a lot of money. I gave you the total annual revenue of Eskom. If you compare it with the other companies, you will see that actually Eskom is a huge company, and Eskom cannot be allowed to fail. Eskom is producing electricity, and that's the lifeblood of the economy. If that stops, it means all sectors of the economy are going to suffer.
I tell you what, we'll watch with keen interest on what happens here with this particular matter. That was Newzroom Energy Sector Coordinator Kangela Baloyi, who was giving us the very latest then when it comes to those talks, those wage negotiations at Eskom. And on the other side of this, we have a conversation with the Kenneth Kaunda district in the Northwest.